Hey everyone, my name's Nikita Meiger, and I am going to be discussing our discussion board today. So it sounds like our friend Jason is in the 8th grade. He is having some trouble with his grades. They're extremely low. He's not completing his assignments, and he's also being verbally disruptive in class. So today we're going to be talking about the solution-focused brief therapy. We're going to talk about some of the concepts, some techniques that Jason could use with his counselor, and lastly, just cover a good question by Dollarhide that correlates to Jason. So first, let's talk about solution-focused brief therapy. So the 3 key concepts that I found are: it emphasizes strength and resiliency of the student, it focuses on the exceptions of their challenges, and it conceptualizes solutions. So the first concept that I wanted to cover today is the concept of hope. So we want to start by affirming Jason, just encouraging him and letting him know what he does well, asking him also what he thinks his strengths are. I would also want to affirm him that things can change. So although his grades are low right now, we can change that by having solutions to some of the challenges that he's facing. Lastly, I do want to just affirm to him that his grades can change, that if there are any consequences that his teachers, administration, or parents have given him, that those can change as well moving forward based on the change or solution that he puts in place for his challenges there. So a few techniques that I'm thinking about, my world right now revolves around the Sfbt world. So oftentimes when we're looking at undesired behaviors, we're looking to ignore them or almost manipulate or change some of the factors so we can get the desired behavior. With solution-focused brief therapy, we're not going to be using those techniques. The first one that I wanted to highlight was highlighting things that are working for the student. So I would want to sit down with Jason and just reflect with him, let him really think through what things are working, what are his strengths, and we're going to be looking at the where, the what, the who, and when the good behaviors happen. So if there is one subject that he's completing more work in than some of the others, looking at some of those factors in his environment that are helping him make better choices. Lastly, we're going to look at those together, and then I'm going to ask Jason, how can we transfer some of those factors into maybe he's doing better in writing versus math? How can we make some of those factors happen in math? For instance, if Jason has small group instruction, maybe that's an accommodation for him. For writing, that might be something that we request to the teacher that he be in a small group for math, transferring that over. Maybe Jason doesn't have any accommodations and he just knows that from group to group he changes his group, and maybe he's more verbally disruptive with one group than the other. His solution that he might come up with is that he stays with the less chatty group during the particular time that he has challenges in. The other technique that I wanted to implement was to talk about the verbally disruptive behaviors. I would want to see and have Jason think through, what some of those thoughts are when he is disruptive. Are they being disrespectful to the teacher, or are they just, he has an idea and impulsively wants to share? So just hearing where those thoughts are coming from. If they are more disrespectful, maybe talking about regulating his emotions. Zones of regulation is a great curriculum. Otherwise, he could, if it is more of a impulsive thought, he could write those down on a sticky note, and just having Jason come up with solutions that can help him be less verbally disruptive in class. Lastly, I did want to talk about some questions from Dollarhide. He asked, what would the first who would be the first person to notice that things got better, and how will they react? I think that this is so important when students are identifying and creating solutions for themselves, because this is the way that we're going to monitor that growth. So in this situation, I would think that Jason would say his teachers would be the first one to notice that change, because his behaviors from this question that we have, our prompt, is based in school. The other people that might notice some changes are his peers, administration, and if admin is calling parents, then his parents would also know, and talking about how those reactions might look like, and how he can tell how he's doing a better job. I hope that this was helpful for you, just some quick techniques and a breakdown of the concept of solution focused brief therapy. I look forward to hearing from all of you as well. Thank you so much.